You're watching WEAR News, the morning current on WFGX.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday, 7 a.m. So glad you are with us. I'm Laura Hussey.
And I'm Jared Willett. We have hurricanes, they have blizzards. You know, that's the way it goes. The big blizzard that paralyzed the Northeast, winding down a bit, but left a heck of a mess behind.
Let's start with Buffalo, New York. I think we have a live shot of what that looks like this morning. So quiet and pretty when you are not down dealing with it. This storm dumped more than 3 feet of snow in parts of Rhode Island, more than 30 inches around Massachusetts, and we are told it could be days before electricity is restored to more than 250,000 customers who are without power as you wake up this morning.
In New York City, a lot of trees buckling under the weight of all the heavy snow, and outside Boston, cars sliding down the roadway, others stuck along the highway. Storm also bringing air travel to a screeching halt.
The snow has buried runways. It's grounded thousands of flights, and airlines are warning it could take days to fully recover as well. Wow.
Our weather is just cold.
Yeah, we just really seem boring after all that, but Brooke, it's all relative, and here in Northwest Florida, it is a very chilly morning.
Yeah, very cold. I mean, we're seeing freezing temperatures all the way down to the coastline, so it is going to be very cold for you this morning. The good news is we do warm up by this afternoon into those mid-50s, chilly afternoon, but that is going to kick off a warming pattern for the rest of the week. So really just dealing with the cold this morning. You can see right now we do have those nice, clear, sunny skies, not as much wind either, so that's some good news. We were certainly feeling it yesterday. Seeing temperatures starting to get a little bit warmer than what we saw about 30 minutes ago in the mid to upper 20s in inland along the coastline. We're just now getting at that 32-degree mark now. A couple of us still in the 20s, but we'll continue to warm up. Make sure you're bundled up out there. The good news is those winds aren't quite as strong, so you're not going to be feeling that wind chill factor. 3 to about 8 miles an hour is where we're seeing the winds currently. Radar is staying dry for you. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day. Temperatures will get into the mid 50s, so it does feel a little more mild. And then tonight, we're going to stay in the 40s for those overnight lows. We're going to be well above freezing, avoiding the 30s altogether. 47 degrees by 11 a.m. You can see those 50s through the afternoon, and then heading into your evening, temperatures drop in the 40s. Tomorrow, highs in the 70s.
Let's get a quick look outside, check the traffic as we look at a live shot of the Escambia Bay Bridge. A little busy, but there are no problems there. So far, no problems anywhere.
Last night, the Okaloosa County School Board voted unanimously to close 2 elementary schools at the end of the semester. That recommendation began in the office of Superintendent Marcus Chambers.
WEAR's Aria Circa here this morning. Apparently, the superintendent says it's the hardest decision he ever had to make.
Right. Chambers cites financial hardships, a decline in enrollment, and steep impacts from Florida's budget constraints. Now Mary Esther Elementary will be put up for sale, and Longwood Elementary will revert back to federal property. Both schools are set to close at the end of this semester.
When you look at decline in enrollment, when you look at other factors such as budget impacts, family empowerment scholarships, and the structure of that program, unfortunately, it's a necessary recommendation, but it's a recommendation I wish that I didn't have to make.
Board members voiced their frustrations last night, highlighting the need for separation at the state level between funding for public and private education and more oversight to Florida's educational scholarship programs. If your child is a student at Longwood or Mary Esther, the rezoning map provided by the district is available on our website for you. Students will be dispersed to 5 different schools in the southern part of the district. Laura, Jared.
Let's get a live look of the U.S. Capitol this morning, and tonight, right there, the President of these United States will deliver the State of the Union address.
It is coming at a tumultuous time, with recent polling showing a majority of Americans disapprove of the job the president is doing so far.
President says it'll be a long speech, plans to talk about multiple topics, the economy. Friday, the Supreme Court did strike down the tariffs the president has imposed on nearly every country using an emergency powers law.
Now, the president said he's not finished with tariffs. He's simply using a different law to pursue an ultimate global tariff of 15%. Foreign policy also expected to be front and center tonight as 2 U.S. aircraft carriers have been sent to the Middle East amid tension with Iran. The State of the Union will be airing tonight right here on WEAR, 8 o'clock our time. Democratic response will come from Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger. Now, we asked you to jump in and let us know if you are planning to watch the President's State of the Union address. So far, 48% have said yes, 52% have said no.
Let's head to Mexico now. Tourists, including a lot of Americans, are stranded in Mexico still under widespread unrest and violence that all started when Mexico's most wanted cartel boss was killed.
Yeah, we've seen videos from people stranded in their resorts where they were told to shelter in place. Very scary stuff. This cartel boss was Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. He was the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, a major trafficker of drugs into the U.S. Better known as El Mencho, he was killed Sunday along with other cartel members in a Mexican military operation aided by U.S. intelligence.
Now, that killing did trigger a series of violent events. Suspected organized crime groups, members setting buses on fire, blocking off roadways, clashing with authorities. A number of air carriers suspended flights to and from the affected cities.
And some of those routes are still disrupted this morning. The U.S. State Department urging American nationals continue sheltering in place in certain areas.
All right, let's bring it out home. County Commissioner under fire over comments made, yes, on social media.
State Representative Michelle Salzman posted on Facebook Saturday night, and it says her original post, was a message of hope and resiliency. Well, Escambia County Commissioner Mike Kohler made a comment under the original post, which was a meme. He appeared to question Salzman's experience as a victim of sexual assault.
Commissioner Kohler wrote, and we quote, "That is so wrong. You claimed to be sexually assaulted in your military service. Please let us support you in your fight," unquote. Now, we spoke to Kohler yesterday. He's apologized, but said the issues are beyond a social media post.
He says it was not his intention to diminish the severity of sexual assault. He says the reason he was commenting in broad terms was over Salzman's efforts to defund $1.5 million around a road project on South Navy Boulevard.
There's 2 or 3 people that have actually confirmed this already. And so she obviously got caught, and it's not in her district. It's in Representative Andrade's. It's political, but it's unfortunate.
Why do you think it's political?
Because I didn't support her for running for Congress. I mean, that's why. I mean, she's basically said that, is what I was told.
Salzman claims to have no real knowledge of the road project in question, says the issue that needs to be addressed is Kohler's conduct. She says she's prepared to take the issue to the governor and other officials, sharing little information on her account as a survivor, says the problem now goes beyond her own experience.
This is about your lack of respect for women and for leaders. Trying to deflect this conversation about my lack of support of funding for an area when I brought back more money in my 5 years than the last 20 years of tenure in the state legislature is just ridiculous. It's a bold-faced lie.
Now, this controversial road project, or seemingly controversial, is actually in Representative Alex Andrade's district. We checked it with him. He says he welcomes Salzman's interest in any project in his district, but that he is also handling it on his end. As
you might expect, plenty of folks sharing thoughts on our social media overnight. Over 100 comments, give or take. Romy says Kohler should immediately and publicly issue an apology. What a disgusting, unnecessary comment he made.
Joe wrote, in part, those who serve and advocate for victims understand the importance of language and empathy. If he has truly helped victims, I hope it's only to steer them to the proper assistance.
And from Brooke, I don't have to agree with Michelle Salzman politically to know that making light or making a joke of her sexual assault is disgusting.
We appreciate all that feedback, and we love your photos. If you have some pictures to share, we'd love to share them right here on the show. Text WEAR-TV to 95577, or even easier, just go to our website and look for the Chime In tab.
There is a new detail in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. What some sources are saying about a person caught on camera outside of her Arizona home.
And charges are now filed in the death of that young woman on a cruise ship. Who's charged with homicide and how the whole thing was discovered.
Well, maybe first a heavy sigh, and after you get done with that, maybe enjoy a coffee break, and let's get through the morning together.
Glad you're with us.
There's an interesting development in the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, major news outlets are citing sources close to the investigation saying the suspect, the one that was on the doorbell camera, had actually been there before. They say he scouted the home before the night that Nancy Guthrie disappeared.
One photo of the suspect without a backpack was captured on her home camera before February 1st when she was abducted. Reports say one theory, when he first went to the home, the suspect was scared off when he saw the camera.
Then later they say he returned, tampered with the camera, and then we get the video that everyone is familiar with at this point from the morning that Nancy Guthrie was abducted. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff tight-lipped. They are not confirming these details.
They are, of course, asking neighbors to check their home security systems again for suspicious people and vehicles. As far as a month before her disappearance, to date, no suspect has been identified.
Nick Reiner has entered a plea of not guilty in the killing of his parents, director Rob Weiner and his wife, Michelle.
He is accused of stabbing his parents to death in their L.A. home December 14th. He's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, special circumstance for multiple murders.
Originally, the arraignment was delayed because Reiner's attorney had to withdraw from the case. Then Nick Reiner was assigned a public defender. Prosecutors say they are still considering seeking the death penalty.
Well, they say all the discovery has been handed over to the defense. They're still waiting for the coroner's report.
And a high-profile case, the 16-year-old stepbrother of that teen who was killed on a Carnival cruise ship is now charged with homicide.
Revelation comes from court documents in an ongoing custody dispute. The victim is Florida 18-year-old Anna Kepner. She was found dead under a bed in their stateroom on a Carnival cruise ship November 7th.
Reports say investigators believe that she was strangled during some type of altercation, and they believe the suspect may have been under the influence. It all happened it was a family trip with her dad and stepmother and her step-siblings.
The teenage suspect was last in court earlier this month. Reports say the case is currently sealed because he's a minor. That won't change unless he's charged as an adult. It's overseen by a federal judge in Miami.
The former UK ambassador to the United States, Peter Mandelson, is now facing charges around his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
The 72-year-old was arrested in London yesterday. The charge, suspicion of misconduct in public office. Same charge as former Prince Andrew. Police also executed search warrants at 2 of his homes.
Now, Mandelson was fired in September from his job as ambassador to the U.S. It came after lawmakers released documents referring to Mandelson as Epstein's, quote, best pal. Other emails from those Epstein files suggest he may have shared sensitive information with Epstein, that he may have helped coordinate response to economic policy in the U.K., and also that Mandelson accepted gifts. He denies any wrongdoing.
And there's more. Celebrity doctor Peter Attia stepping away as a contributor for CBS News over his emails with Epstein.
Attia, best known for his commentary on longevity science. His resignation was announced yesterday and it is effective immediately. Attia appears in files in a slew of emails in the 2010s. You could almost use the word fanboy if you read this stuff. The men were talking about jokes, meetings, and Epstein's health.
Some emails made crude and explicit jokes about women. Attia says he's embarrassed. You've got a connection in New York City, right?
Our reporter Aria Circa's brother Zane lives in New York City, and he actually got a snow day yesterday. His work called and said, don't come in. So they walked around town just getting photos of this huge snowfall. Boy, feet and feet. I think at least a couple of feet of snow falling in the borough. They really got some beautiful shots, Brooke, and what struck me was how quiet the streets were in New York City. I hope we get to see the snowman. Have you seen the snowman yet?
I have.
There he is.
Aria came in and showed me all these pictures. Like, that's insane. I mean, it's thank you so much for sending these in and showing Aria. I didn't know, did he build this snowman?
Apparently not. I asked the other day. Now, we want to take pictures 2 or 3 days from now when the snow is all black from the exhaust.
So I saw a video of someone else in New York City, and apparently with the snow, when she's walking her dog, she can see all the rat prints in the snow. She's like, look, a rat there, and there's like a hot spot of where all the rats go, so the little rat prints are in the snow.
Oh, New York
Okay, then.
City.
Look it up. You can find some
There we go.
videos. It's funny.
Time to move on, I think.
Maybe he'll send us some
Look
rat
at
print
this.
videos in the snow. But yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous this morning. And we do have some nice weather on tap. It's going to be looking beautiful as we head into the rest of your week. Really, this morning, the coldest that we're going to be feeling for quite some time now. We do have those nice sunny skies this morning. It is just very cold, so bundle up. By the afternoon, you'll be in the 50s, so a little more mild. We'll have the sunshine throughout most of the day. Heading into the rest of your afternoon, winds are also looking much calmer, 3 to about 8 miles an hour at the most. And we do have those 30s and 20s. So this is what we're going to be looking at coldest for really the rest of the week. 20s, 30s right now, still below freezing for a lot of us. Temperatures will get into the 50s for your highs. And then as you head into tomorrow, look at this trend. This is 6 to 10 days from now, looking well above average today, below average tomorrow in the 70s. So it is going to be warming up quickly, going from about 55 degrees today, 71 for tomorrow. We'll stay in the 70s through the end of the week and heading into the weekend. So things are going to be looking much warmer heading into that weekend forecast. Radar for the most part dry. We'll have some small rain chances moving in for the end of the week. Today is going to be just completely sunny. For that Wednesday, we'll have a few more clouds, just a few passing clouds. And as you head into your Thursday, we'll have a few more clouds, a little more moisture, and that will lead us to a chance of some of those pop-up showers. So we're going to keep our small rain chance around as you head into your Thursday. You can see starting in the late morning is when we'll have your rain chance pick up. We'll have some pop-up showers going from Thursday, Friday. We will have a few of those showers around. And then for Saturday, Sunday, we should actually look at some more sunshine than clouds. So it is going to be a little different heading into that weekend. Should be nice. Seatow Marine forecast, we have 1 foot for the Gulf. Winds are out of the north-northeast at about 5 to 10 knots. And we do have your yellow flags flying this morning with a good chance we will keep those yellow flags as we go throughout your day today. Let's get you through your week ahead. Highs are in the mid-50s for today. We are starting off very cold, but we should get a little more mild. Look at that overnight temperature in the 40s, around 46 degrees as you wake up tomorrow morning. 70s for highs. We'll stay in the 70s as we head into the weekend, and we should be looking at some sunshine heading into that weekend as well. We'll still keep some small rain chances around as we head into the beginning of next week. About a 20% chance going into Sunday and Monday.
Hollywood lost another. Robert Carradine passed away. What we know about his death in just a moment.
Hollywood is mourning the loss this morning of actor Robert Carradine.
From a big acting family,
My
brothers,
gosh,
parents,
huge.
and all this. He was best known, a couple of things really. Revenge of the Nerds, classic, and I didn't watch Lizzie McGuire. Really, I'm not the demo. Wasn't
Yeah, I mean, that's what I know him
Yeah.
from. You know, he's known as Sam McGuire from the Disney Channel show Lizzie McGuire. He was the dad. He was Lizzie's dad.
The family is saying that Carradine took his own life after a long struggle with bipolar disorder. They put out a statement saying, in part, we hope his journey can shine a light and encourage addressing the stigma that attaches to mental illness. And as Jared mentioned, his family was all in showbiz.
He was 71 years old. For our next story here, you know the answer, but for the people at home.
Okay.
I will, oh, we're not going to do it?
Okay.
No, we're gonna.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
We're going to do this because you know why? We got to make sure we get the dogs in. Thomas Batchelder told us this. This is the two rescues, Faith and Rocco. You guys are very photogenic.
Good morning, Martin Kozinski, Corporal Joseph C. Kozinski, 38th Photo Recon Squadron, U.S. Army Air Corps, World War II, Europe, European Theater, 1942.
Thank you for your service. Stay with us on the Morning Current at FedEx suing the Trump administration. Why they filed a lawsuit, we will discuss. At 7:26, we are looking live at Seaside Heights, New Jersey. A very pretty beach scene, except it's freezing cold. And is that snow or sand? We're not quite sure at this point.
Either way, it's a pretty shot, absolutely.
Yeah, but it is absolutely so cold in the Northeast, dealing with snow and power outages and travel delays. Meteorologist Brooke Richardson, sometimes you're just super happy to be in Northwest Florida, even though it feels like it's so cold here.
Yeah, and we are looking at temperatures below freezing this morning. We are going to warm up though as we head into the rest of the week. Right now we do have temperatures in the 30s, getting into the 50s for your highs today, 70s tomorrow. So it doesn't last long, really just today. You have to get through that cooler weather before we have some nice warm weather, a nice little stretch of warm weather. Temperatures right now below freezing for a lot of us. We do have anywhere from around 32, so right around freezing along the coastline, to the upper 20s inland. We do have lighter winds, so those temperatures won't feel too much cooler than they actually are. Not too much of a wind chill factor this morning, 5 to about 8 miles an hour. Here's a look at your radar. It's dry. We're going to have the sunshine today. Temperatures get into the mid 50s, and then tomorrow we are going to be seeing that big change. You're going to notice tomorrow morning not nearly as cold. We'll actually stay in the 40s overnight, and then we'll get into the 70s for those highs. So one more day of this cooler weather, and it does look like our nice little stretch of some warmer weather does last well into next week.
It is 7:28, and this is a live shot of I-10 near Highway 29. There is a wreck there. We know precious little other than that. If it's part of your morning commute, you are now aware. Again, I-10 near Highway 29, a wreck on the interstates.
It is 7:28 now. The Seacrest Wolf Preserve in Chipley says they have just 2 weeks to vacate the property that they have called home for years.
Here's what's going on. They say they have until March 15th to leave. They lost a legal battle with the landowner. Seacrest Wolf Preserve says they had formal legal lease for the preservation's land, leased the land for several years after the owner retired. Owner sold the land. Seacrest says the buyer was aware, though, of their lease.
But now they say the new owner has issued an eviction notice. The issue is all around insurance. Seacrest saying they meet all state and licensing requirements for their insurance, but the owner wants additional insurance.
They say they simply can't find more insurance after reaching out to agencies and experts. Say they tried to raise enough money to relocate, but they fell short of their goal.
Now they are trying to relocate as many wolves as they can, and in their words, this is a quote, "Many of these animals will not survive the outcome of this closure." That is the blunt truth. We've done stories on this preserve, and I know a lot of locals in my acquaintance have been there, taken tours, and have a great fondness for these animals. So this morning, Seacrest is asking us to spread the word to anyone with connections in conservation to get in contact with them.
All right, let's talk politics and the economy. FedEx is now suing the Trump administration, demanding a full refund after the Supreme Court overturned the president's tariffs.
This lawsuit was filed yesterday in New York. It did not specify an amount. It is the first case that has been filed since Friday's Supreme Court decision, in which justices ruled that President Trump's global tariffs are illegal.
Hundreds of companies filed lawsuits before the ruling, essentially staking their place in line. Now, the president indicated Friday they won't hand out refunds voluntarily, saying, and I quote, "It'll be litigated for the next 2 years."
Now, President Trump said the Supreme Court should, quote, "be ashamed of themselves for their decision around the tariffs under emergency powers."
What do you think about this legislation that would allow high school coaches to spend their very own personal money on the well-being of student athletes? It's gotten through the Florida Senate.
It's called the Teddy Bridgewater Act. It would allow coaches to spend up to $15,000 on student athletes. The bill requires that the spending be reported to the Florida High School Athletic Association.
Now, spending can only go to three things, really: food, transportation, and recovery services.
This all stems from former high school football coach and NFL quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. He was suspended from his coaching position at Miami High School for paying for Uber rides, meals, and recovery for student athletes.
Mike Bennett, head football coach at Escambia High School, says he just wants to be able to help the students.
No coach is going to let a kid go hungry. No coach is not going to let a kid make sure he has a pair of cleats, to play in. I can probably tell you just about where all of our kids live, what their situation is, just because you're around them a lot and you talk a lot, and they trust you to tell you things.
Thank you, and
Coach Bennett says critics may argue that coaches could take advantage and recruit students for money, but he doesn't see that reality playing out. As for the legislation, there is a companion bill in the House right now. It's still working its way through committee. If it were to make it to the governor's desk, the changes would go into effect July 1st.
A lot of people sharing their thoughts on this story. From Bonnie, she says They should only be allowed to claim the same as teachers for income tax deductions, and that's $400.
Kathy wrote, hopefully this won't turn into an expectation from the district or parents. This is money coming out of a coach's personal finances. They still will need school, district, and booster money to effectively run their programs.
From Jermel, Coach Bennett has always been a great man. I hope you're doing well, Coach.
We would agree. Give us your input. Take out your phone, scan that QR code, and answer the question. Do you think high school coaches should be allowed to spend their own money on student athletes? We will share the results with you tomorrow morning.
All right, construction continues in downtown on Palafox, about 2 months now, all part of the big beautification stormwater project as well. And the city is ensuring that no history goes undocumented.
An archaeology team from the University of West Florida watching closely as crews do the work. It's a safeguard to make sure no history gets erased. They're looking for things associated with the colonial period, particularly British colonial period, and apparently it has already paid off.
The lots and blocks that we have today were actually inhabited by the British during that period, and sometimes they didn't exactly stay out of the streets when they were getting rid of their trash. So last week we found a trash pit that was full of materials such as ceramics from the British period, a little bit of bone.
Well, the team doesn't expect to find anything of great consequence, but if they do, they say it would not slow down the construction.
Yeah, they say they would document anything that would be found, take samples if needed, and cover it back up. The city says the project in general is on schedule, with construction expected to wrap up by May 24th.
City says they will continue working with businesses downtown, planning on ways to bring us all downtown and have a nice time.
The Sun Belt Basketball Championship will be back in Pensacola next week.
Let's see here, March 3rd to the 9th at the Bay Center. 6th season in a row, Pensacola's hosted the championship. It'll continue to be here until the year at least 2030. Men's and women's teams from all 14 Sun Belt Conference schools will compete in the single elimination tournament.
Well, that means 26 games over 7 days. The champions win an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Both the men's and women's championship games will stream live on ESPN.
Every day of the tournament, there are ticket promotions, an education night, military appreciation night, and a baby race. Just a few of the events that'll be going on.
All right, take out your phone. We're going to pop up a QR for you. There it is. This will take you to our website, weartv.com. We've got a lot more details on the Sun Belt Conference Basketball Championships, as well as the ticket promotions waiting for you.
Lindsey Vonn talking about her journey of recovery. Interesting couple of things, what she says about the severity of her injury at the Olympics.
And this is crazy. You can now get a pizza with the taste of ancient Rome. For real. And it is not what you would expect. Do they have coffee?
I guess, but I've always wondered what ancient Rome tastes like.
It's a taste of ancient. Never mind. Let's have a coffee.
Have a coffee break.
Some people are just being difficult.
I bet it tastes like old.
Difficult.
Well, Lindsey Vonn gave an update stating that she nearly lost her leg after the crash on the Olympic downhill run. She posted to Instagram yesterday.
Now, she suffered that complex tibia fracture and developed compartment syndrome, which Laura knows a lot about.
Yeah, we did a story with a local athlete, Lee Bryant of Navarre High School. Compartment syndrome is when blood and swelling in an injured area create an insane amount of pressure. It restricts blood flow, and it is fairly rare to keep the limb at that point. Doctors have to act very quickly. In this case, Team USA's orthopedic surgeon did a surgery, and as Lindsey Vonn put it, very similar to what Lee Bryant told me, they kind of have to.
Says thankful that he was there.
Yeah, Vonn also revealed she's been discharged from the hospital and also suffered a broken right ankle.
Oh, by the way, a broken ankle in the mix. Well, great for her and the doctor. It's all going to work out, I guess, I hope.
Well, I think, keeping her leg at that point is probably feels like such a blessing. So all the best to her. Now, this is the one we were talking about a minute ago, a taste of what they ate in ancient Rome, okay? It's at a pizzeria in Budapest.
Yeah, it's called the Neverland Pizzeria. They created a limited edition pie using only ingredients that would have been available in ancient Rome.
What would that include, I wonder? No tomatoes, didn't have them.
No, they came from the New World much later. No mozzarella either. Even the word pizza really didn't exist at the time. But some historians say that mozzarella did lead to the invention of the pizza in Naples in the 1700s.
So how did they prepare said pizza? Here we go. They start with the dough using ancient grains, as the base. They had no running water, so they used delicious fermented spinach juice to help the dough rise.
Yeah, they say it turns out more dense, and the toppings: olive paste, fermented fish sauce.
Fermented fish sauce.
Okay, I'm done there. Comfit duck leg, toasted pine nut, ricotta, and grape reduction.
Some of it sounds good. I mean, the ricotta part and the grape reduction. The pizzeria owner says their philosophy is always to be innovative, but never, never, never. I mean, you can have fermented fish sauce, but heaven forbid, no pineapple.
I don't know about you, but fermented fish sauce is really delicious when prepared right.
In the correct application.
Have you actually had it?
Of course not.
Okay, I was like, ew! I didn't see it. That's gross.
It really doesn't look overly appetizing, I don't think.
It just looks like anchovies. I don't think it looks gross. If you ever made a Caesar salad. Anyway, check out these stories and more and decide for yourself. You can find them all on our YouTube channel. Top local and national news shorts for your quick bites of content, the Morning Minute as well. Search WEAR News on YouTube.
Well, I like a good Caesar. Scientists say, how about this? They're closer to a universal vaccine that can protect against a wide range of respiratory illnesses. We'll take a look at where they are in the research. Hang on.
Scientists at Stanford Medicine say they are one step closer to a universal vaccine that can protect against a wide range of respiratory illnesses.
Apparently, it's a nasal spray, so far only studied on mice. Researchers say it provides broad protection in the lungs against respiratory viruses, bacteria, and allergens. Last several months, they say, the study showed protection against several coronaviruses, common hospital-acquired infections, and allergens.
Now, researchers say if this is effective in humans, it could replace multiple shots a year for seasonal respiratory infections. It works differently than traditional vaccines, which focus on specific strains and become outdated as pathogens mutate.
Instead, what it does, apparently, they say, hijacks your immune system's initial response to an infection. In the early stage of an infection, the immune system attacks anything deemed a pathogen. That makes a universal vaccine, they say, more realistic.
And this, a big step up for people who are studying and fighting ultra-rare diseases.
The FDA introducing framework for speeding up the development of individualized therapies for those ultra-rare diseases.
The big problem has been a lot of these therapies have extremely small patient pools, so clinical trials are not feasible.
The draft guidance specifically looks at genome editing and RNA-based therapies. It is open to allow other select therapies. They do have to meet key criteria, by the way, based around how the therapy works and the use of available data.
Overall, the FDA says this will drive innovation, it will improve safety, lower costs, and give more patients life-saving treatments. I always like to check in with the other coast.
Yeah, can we do that?
Let's do it.
When you wish upon a star.
AJ, that is a cool shot. Our EP AJ said it's kind of grainy, but it's kind of cool. Disneyland in Anaheim in the pre-dawn hours in California. I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure people are excited to get there today.
Oh yeah, can you imagine little kids
Yeah.
waking up? Let's do that. Here in Northwest Florida, we are a little bit intemperate for anything outside right now. Anyway.
No kidding.
It's kind of cold.
Quite cold. I mean, we do have temperatures at or below freezing this morning. Right now, it's beautiful, though. We do have the sunshine. It's going to be looking lovely as you head into your day today. We're just going to be looking at that colder weather. It warms up quickly, though, as you head into your afternoon. So we are going to be seeing mid-50s today, and then that leads us into a warming trend. So right now, you can see over our Hardee's camera, it just looks nice and calm. Our winds are also much lighter than what we've been seeing, about 3 to 8 miles an hour. So it is a fairly light breeze out of the north. Now your temperatures, they are in the 30s. We're seeing anywhere from 33 to about 35 degrees. We were seeing more 20s on the board. Now that is starting to change. We're starting to see that warm up. Some of us already getting above freezing. Won't be long for most of us to get above that freezing mark. Afternoon highs today, mid to upper 50s. It is still going to be chilly. We're just not going to have the winds like we saw. And it is going to stay warmer as you head through the rest of the week. Today, mid 50s. By the rest of the week, 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center does show warmer than average temperatures, and it does look like this is a trend for us. We'll be at 50s for today, 70s by tomorrow, and we'll stay in the 70s through the rest of the week, into the weekend, and into next week. So it is going to be a warm trend for you. Really just have to get through today for that nice warmer weather to come into play. As for what we can expect with that warmer weather, small rain chance. Today, it's looking nice and dry. Your radar is completely calm. We will have sunny skies as you go through your afternoon. A few passing clouds here and there. A little more cloud cover on that Wednesday, but you'll still have plenty of sunshine. We're still looking dry going into Thursday. We do have a little touch of some rain possible. You'll see a few more clouds through the morning, pop-up showers as you head into your afternoon and heading into the evening, looking more isolated. Same thing for that Friday forecast. You can see we will have the clouds around, isolated pockets of some showers. We're going to keep that rain chance low at about 40 to 50% heading into the end of the week. By Saturday, we should look at a little more sunshine, less of a rain chance, and it should be looking nice and warm, still in those 70s. Let's take a look at your coastal conditions now. We do have 1 foot for the Gulf. Winds are out of the north-northeast at about 5 to 10 knots for today. And we do have your yellow flags flying with a good chance they will stay yellow as you head throughout your day today. Let's get you through your week ahead. Temperatures today around 55 degrees, staying mild. We will be in the mid mid-70s by the time you hit the weekend, starting in the 70s tomorrow, and you can see those mid-70s by Saturday. So it does warm up. We will be looking at some small rain chances heading into Thursday, Friday. Rain chances move out of the forecast as you head into the weekend. Even the rain chances for the end of the week on the more minimal side. We'll keep some small rain chances around as we head into the beginning of next week as some pop-up showers start to build back into the forecast.
Peeking in on your Tuesday morning drive, this is a live shot at I-10 and Pine Forest. Always busy this time of day, slowing down a bit, but still moving at 7:49.
Punch, the magic monkey, or the everyday monkey, has gone viral, and now he's a trend setter. Things are being sold online and out of stock, all because of this little guy. On the way.
I feel like we could have all seen this coming, but Punch is now a trendsetter. You know, he's the little monkey that was abandoned in the zoo.
Yes, and we all fell in love, right? The video went viral. What happened was his mom had rejected him. Yeah. So here's Punch. Here's the little guy we're talking about. So apparently one of the videos went viral. When the mom rejects them, sometimes the other monkeys are mean, and some monkey was just wiping the floor with them, and Punch ran and got his little comfort monkey, an orangutan that turns out to have been manufactured by IKEA.
So, just take a guess what happened next.
Well, what's funny, about a week ago, I saw someone posting about this. They're like, y'all should stock up, and then you can make some money.
Indeed, this $19.99 plush toy sales absolutely spiked since Punch went viral.
Now, you can buy them, what was it, aftermarket, if you will, for lack of a better name, eBay and
sold out, completely sold out. And then on resale sites, you can buy them, like I think $384 was the price I saw on eBay for that little. I mean, I guess if you got Punch's used one, it would be even more.
Well, so they are saying that it does still show on stock or in stock online right now. So maybe they got that stock back up.
Oh yeah, maybe
they
restocked.
So what do you do with it?
You're asking the hard questions.
Give it to your pet monkey.
I guess you pretend it's Punch. IKEA actually says they reached out to the zoo in Japan to see how else they can help. It turned out that they had donated a number of stuffed toys for a number of animals. So the fact that Punch had it there in the enclosure was absolute coincidence and now an absolute boon for IKEA. And oh, by the way, to put a bow on this little conversation, Punch is doing well. He had another mom kind of step in and accept him, and so everything's going
So it's a win for everybody.
Yeah, except for the person who's $384 for a stuffed monkey.
But the person that's selling it for $380.
I can see at the weekly family budget meeting, groceries, mortgage, stuffed orangutan.
Let's look at some pictures, y'all.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
From Richard Andres, this is Senior Chief Richard Andres, who has a lot of things I don't know how to say properly. CTIX, SSNACCW retired. Forgive me, Chief, for not saying it exactly right, but thank you for your service.
Good morning, Melvin Hampton. This would be Blue trying something new.
Blue in blue. Send us your shots as well. We love to share them on the show. And stay with us. The Morning Current. We'll be right back.
We are going to have temperatures cooler today, going to be in the 50s for your highs with some sunshine. By the time you hit Wednesday, we'll have a few more clouds. Temperatures will be in the 70s for your highs. We're going to keep the 70s around through the rest of the week. We will have some small rain chances for Thursday and Friday, then heading into the weekend, looking at some sunshine.
All right, so just hang on one more day.
One more day.
Loving it.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us on the Morning Current. We'd love to see you tomorrow right here at 7 o'clock.